Hello, it's me again. As promised, this is the Cricut version, so you can see how to import your files that you did, well, your JPEG files from Serif into Cricut. So you've opened up your Cricut design space. As you can see, I've got lots of projects in here. I've made Plaxton doors, made body parts, shells and interiors, and even down to windows. So it just shows you what you can do, doors and everything like that. So that's how I've made doors and windows and everything like this. But for today, what we're doing is we're going to show you how to import your file from Serif, which you've saved in your folder, into Cricut and make it a cuttable image. So first of all, on the left-hand side, we select upload. As you can see, I've already uploaded these pictures into here, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, we click on Upload Image and then Browse. And of course, there's my folder NCT351 with all the outer shells, inner shells, flooring, and front and backs all grouped together as you did them in Serif, ready to be imported into Cricut. But what I do, I always save one file as just a side view. Now, this is what I use for measuring, because with this, it's a bit difficult with all the parts on to get the right measurement. And of course, you want all parts to be the same size. So this is how I do it. You might find a better way. First of all, click on your side view and it takes you to this screen. You want to click on Simple. So click Simple, down to the bottom, click Continue, and you now have a giant side view of your model. So just zoom out to get it to the right size. As you can see, all the windows are like a pinky colour. We want to get rid of all the windows and the outline and vents and wheel arches, so we know that Cricut knows that it will only cut the red. So we select the tool at the top left, which is Select and Erase. And then what we do, we go to just the outside where this line is here, click on that, and that gets rid of the background. So once you see the checkerboard effect, you know that that is now transparent and Cricut doesn't recognize it. Do the same for the windows. So we're getting rid of all the windows like this, so that Cricut knows not to cut the windows. So it will cut all round the outside, and all this will drop out or push out when you get it onto your plastic card. Don't forget your vents at the back. So I put like little hole vents and things like that for topping up the water and things like that. Once you're happy that you've got a checkerboard effect all around it and everything that should be cut out will be cut out, click Continue. And this takes us to the next screen. You have two images, Save as Print Then Cut or Save as Cut. We want to select this screen, Save as Cut. Click on it, make sure it's green highlighted, and we know that this will be the next stage. Go down to the bottom and click on Save. This has now saved it into your upload part of your computer in Serif, in Cricut, and also you've done exactly the same as what we've just done with that in the Select and Erase tool, with the selection of all your various parts that are all put together in one file. It's exactly the same as what we've just done with the side view, Select and Erase until everything that is white is now clear with a checkerboard. So what we do next is click on the upload image, down to the bottom right, and select Insert. This will now drop it onto our page. And as you can see, the measurements are way too big. We know that the model is, of course, measured from the plan. For this model, it's 14 centimeters long. So if we go up to the top where it says Size, type in 14 and then click Enter. That will resize my bust down to 14 centimeters, which is what I've measured it at. So we now know we're happy that that bust is going to be the right size. Now, this is the way I do it. So you might find an easier way. We click back into our folder, upload folder, and we select the folder that's got all the various sides of the busters. And then we click Insert, and that drops it in like that. So select a manageable size of, say, 12, click Enter, and then we can get it in the screen, so we can use the slider image, the slider at the side here, to drag it to the size. What I do is place it over the side of the bus we've got and then drag it until it matches up exactly with the image underneath, like so. Then we know that this bus is now exactly the right size as your side image. So all these parts on here now are all exactly the same size. So we know that the model, when it's built together, will be exactly the right size. Everything will fit perfectly. So just left click and then right click and delete your side view. Slide this one up so that it's now in screen. So now you have all your components for your Cricut machine to cut. The next stage is to click on these three bars near the canvas at the top. This is your menu. Scroll down until you find Manage Custom Settings. Click on that, and then this will bring up all your custom materials. Now this lists every single material that you can use for cutting with your Cricut machine. And what I do, I keep scrolling down until I find light chipboard 55mm. And as you can see, all my settings are already set in this. If you go to the end where it says edit, click on edit, and this is where you can select your pressure for your blade, how much pressure you want the machine to put on to cut. So that's set for me for 350. The next thing to do is in the middle box, you can see all the different times the blade will cut. It's normally set on 2, so the blade will do 2 cutting passes. What I usually do if I'm using 40 thou plastic card is set it to 9. So that's 9 times the blade will cut into the plastic card. So to do 9 passes to make a cut. So it'll get deeper and deeper every time. It won't actually cut through the plastic card, but it'll give you enough cutting for you to run a sharp scalpel round the outside and push them out. If you're using 20 thou plastic card, which is what I use sometimes, I usually set it on 5 times because this actually cuts through 20 thou plastic card. So then when it comes out your machine, all you've got to do is just push out the pieces and the job's a good one. Now your machine will come with a fine point blade, so you would have to go on eBay and buy a deep cut blade, which is what I bought for my machine, and that's what I use for plastic card because the fine one doesn't work. The deep point one is absolutely fantastic for this. It'll even scribe into aluminium, an aluminium sheet, which I've tried as well. So make sure that is set to deep point blade. Then click save. Now that's saved all your requirements that you want to cut, and then down to the bottom and select done. And now that is set into your machine. So now the Cricut machine knows it has to cut 9 times into the plastic card. It's set for light chipboard 0.55mm, and it knows it's got to be a deep cut blade. So that's everything set. That's your image set, your machine set up ready for cutting. The next stage is to click at the top right where it says make it. So click on make it, and this will bring up your cutting board. Make sure it's lined up so everything's spot on. Make sure your plastic card comes down to just 21.5 on the screen, which it will do because I've cut this one out of plastic card. Next step is to click continue at the bottom, and this will take you to your starting to cut page. As you can see on your machine, make sure that your dial is set to custom, and this will bring up all your different materials and everything. So select light chipboard 0.55 is what I use. So click on that, and now your machine is set up. As you can see, pressure there, we've already set it in the machine, but we just want to make sure that it's set. So click on more. So this will give you a bit extra more pressure. Now we know everything's set up. We know that the material's set up. We know that the blade's set up for cutting, how many times it needs to cut. And the next stage is on your Cricut machine, the C button will now be flashing. So once you've installed your mat, by pressing the arrow key on your Cricut machine, it will already be set. Then your flashing button will click, And then the next stage is to it'll set up. Of course, I haven't got my machine connected up, so I can't go any further with this, but this is all set up now, ready for cutting. So I hope that this has helped. You now know how to do it in Serif, and it probably be the same in Corel or Publisher. You now know how to import your pictures into Cricut. You know how to set the Cricut machine up for cutting, and basically that's it. So enjoy, and I look forward to seeing some of your projects. And if you do struggle with anything, please contact me. I'm sociable, so I'll be happy to help with any enquiries. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this has helped. Goodbye.